but it looked like the videos were up and running and had a good practice, and everybody's getting excited about coming up this week.
Yeah, we did. Once the skies cleared and Mother Nature's bladder was empty, we got some racing in, and it was beautiful weather. And then that was on Saturday evening. We turned the lights on and ran till 9, and then opened back up the next day and ran a couple more hours.
So Gina,
it was great.
Gina, how was it for you? I mean, once you finally got cars, trucks, or whatever on the track at speed, was it a moment where you were like, you exhaled and said, first step done?
No, I have a bad habit of not doing that. But no, I tell you what, I did come to the house to grab something, and you can see the track from the house, and I looked on the porch, and let me tell you, it took my breath away at how fast this track is. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've heard and I have been here, but looking at it and hearing it, it's like, wow.
That's awesome.
It's a very fast track.
So proud for you.
Well, I think you could do that on Saturday when the races finally get on the racetrack. When that race is over, I think you can finally take a deep breath. But talk about the lead up to it. Obviously, what's the mindset down there with some of the racers you got a chance to talk to? Are they just as excited as the general public is about opening that place back up and running on that big half mile?
Yes, they are. It's a positive thing. There, a lot of people have reached out and told me various stories, and this track is just as sentimental to them as, H&P or, CTS, all of those. It's one of those kind of tracks. And it's the same community of racers, the same family of racers, generations. And, that's what warms your heart. I got to work the gate this week because we had someone couldn't make it. So when you work the pit gate here, when people come in, you can't see the track. Mm. And a couple people said, don't you want to come watch? And do you know that hearing it, but talking to the people and getting to meet a lot of them that I've Facebook with, man, that was probably the best spot I could have done. Oh. I'll see them on the track. That was very valuable. And I enjoyed that more than I probably would seeing everybody on the track. I'll see that Saturday.
Yeah. No, that's a great point right there. So have you had folks that have come that aren't that aren't race fans that just want to, because I know the buzz is there. I mean, I've talked to so many people there. Have you had outsiders that have come in that just want to know exactly what the hell is going on?
Oh, definitely. I've had calls. Guy said, I've lived here for 5 years and I've never been out. When are y'all going to be open? I have the track phone forwarded to my cell phone, and during the week you'll get about 8 to 10 calls a day asking when you're open. Come Thursday night till even on Sunday, I'll get about 20 to 24 to 25 calls a day asking when we're racing.
It's massive.
I don't know if H&P gets that. I don't have their phone forwarded to my phone, so I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but I do know that means the community is paying attention and that they want the track to open. So, I'm excited to be able to, polish her up and get her racing again.
It's awesome.
Well, Gina, you stole my thunder a little bit because the next question was going to be about the outreach from just that general area. Obviously, you've got a couple of different factors or customers you got to look at. You got the racers you got to keep happy. You got the race fans that you got to keep happy. And then you've got your local media and stuff like that you got to reconnect with. Has that been as challenging as you thought? Was it easier trying to do it with Houston because you knew the market more? Or is it the same basics regardless of whether or not you're trying to do that stuff in Houston or doing that stuff in Mobile?
It is different because I don't know, the connections or the area, but in general, I just apply the same rules, when trying to build those connections. Mm-hmm. When you've been around racing and you know a few people like we all do, you can call and ask. And let me tell you, I call a lot of people and ask a lot of questions. That has bbeen more valuable in anything that I've been doing because we all, that input is huge. Mm-hmm. And it always leads to someone else. There's a lot of people that are willing to give you advice, lend an ear or something. And that is, man, I value that. tremendously.
Yeah, that's big. I can only imagine, Gina, you and Bo. I mean, the emotions, just everything. The end of last week, I had this really weird feeling in my gut, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I mean, I felt like my blood was racing. I felt weird. I woke up this morning because it's race week. I mean, it's race week there.
Yeah,
and I felt better, and I can only imagine. So you, how are you and Bo? I mean, I know that he shoulders as much of this as you do. How are you guys? How are you guys dealing with this?
Well, we're dealing with it by bringing family down here on the weekends. I'm here all week. Bo and a work crew come on the weekends, and everyone works. We have the 4T4 guys doing our tire program. Chad Deere is here all week helping us get things ready. Bo goes back and goes to work. It's like he said, 4 of them, him and Mason and Todd and Michael, our video guy, left yesterday afternoon about 5 o'clock. So you can imagine they all get home around midnight, maybe 12:30 or something like that, and then got to get up and go to work. Bo goes to work at 5 a.m. So I know that came quick.
Yeah, it happens really fast. I bet it does.
But you know what? Everyone is on board. You're working. You see your results in racing. That is tremendous. It's very humbling, and it puts a lot of pressure on you, but it drives you to try to make each time a little bit better.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Yep.
So, Gina, let's talk about the tires real quick, and we can tie in H&P a little bit to it. It seems that the initial backlash that we thought we were going to see didn't happen, even at H&P. And has it been the same way over at Mobile? Has the drivers and stuff kind of opened up to the newer factor trying to run these American racers?
Yes, I think they're accepting it. It's overcoming the challenge of the wheels and overcoming different things that this would present when you go to one track and there's one tire and going to the other. I think it is my feeling in what we saw in the testing and also in the race that works itself out once you can kind of, introduce the tire into your racing program and use it for the most value, for the value of the tire. I think it kind of works it out budget-wise. I mean, I believe if you put the pencil to the paper on your racing program, it would be the best option.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I'm confident in saying that.
And I think part of what helped is that we did. I mean, there were good reviews coming out of the Houston race, and you had folks that maybe were even faster than they were on the Hoosiers before. So I think that probably helps because we sell this to ourselves better than anyone else can.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
That's super good. So let's talk about Saturday. So I know that there will be a live stream. Let's talk about, because I have had the question, and I know it's still a work in progress because there's work happening. Your elbow grease is happening as we speak. Grandstand situation, live fans on site there at Mobile. What will or will not be able to happen that day?
We will not have the grandstands open for spectators. We're unable to. I'm sure the local people here who have been here know why and what the track, the struggles that we have. We are updating them and hope to have them open by the second race, but not right now at this race. We focus on the live stream and presenting that, and we're gonna have some fun things plugged in.
Nice.
So how does that change the whole mindset, Gina, on that? Not able to have fans. I mean, it's got to be tough for you as somebody that loves racing and promotes racing. It's got to just break your heart every time somebody says, "When can we get back in the grandstands?"
Man, it really does, and especially in this area, and knowing we get all those calls. But here's the deal: there's a way to open it. We're running a summer series. We're running 4 races because we knew what we were up against and some updates that this track needs. And if we raced more, it puts more stress on the team, more stress on the budget, and ultimately you end up not doing what you need to do because you're racing. And that is the worst thing that this track needs to happen. It has to have some TLC put back into it, and taken away less to get it going. Yeah. And that is really, the only option. Yeah. And why we're doing it this way. We just kind of have to be smart. Trust me, I've gone through every emotion. We can't do this. We're going to do it. We're going to figure out how to make it work. And then you really have to step back and say, realistically, what's smart in the long run and the big picture of what we're trying to accomplish with this racetrack and HMP.
Yeah. I think it really comes down to, to get the track operating with, nothing's happened for 3 years there. The main focus has had to be getting the surface, getting to where it's safe to be able to race. And, and unfortunately, the fan experience has to be in second place when it comes to that race.
Yes. And we want to open the grandstands when the stands are safe and more compliant and ready to roll. And she looks good. Sure. And again, the live stream that we're putting out, that's really, you can see, you're going to get extra stuff there that you wouldn't even see from the grandstand. So we'll still have a spectator. We're going to call it a spectator pit pass. There's an area in the pit that is a separate pit pass from a competition pit pass that we can allow people. It's just not the grandstand, but we're going to make sure we get some in for sure.
So I do have a question, and again, this is just me random thoughts, and you don't have to answer it. You can say we'll figure it out during the week or something. Would there be a possibility? With the spectator parking lot, would it be a possibility if folks could come sit in the parking lot and watch the live stream? Can't go in, but watch the live stream and maybe be able to hear the ambient sound.
Oh man, Rodney.
That's what I do, Gina.
Rodney, come on now.
Tailgate party, my friend.
I didn't even think of that. Holy moly, we're going to have to call Mike Meekum. Get him on the phone.
I'm a tailgate.
That's a really good idea, Rodney.
I'm a tailgater. I sit around, drink beer, eat barbecue, drink more beer. That's what I do for a living. I think
I'm like speechless, dude.
Wouldn't that be cool? I think it would be. Even if whether it be, I know to get a larger, screen thing. Bobby has one of those things, the projection thing.
Projector, yeah.
Yeah, but even if hell, watch on your phone. But the thing is, you'll hear it, you'll smell it, and the beer will be cheap. You'll bring it yourself.
You know what? I'm gonna have to look at that. I'm gonna call up Bo tonight, and he's gonna say, "What in the world?"
Oh, great! I'll get the next call. Why in the?
Hey, that's how Mobile started. When I called him and said, "Hey, I've been thinking about something," and he always goes, "Oh no." How much is it going to cost?
I remember that one. I remember that.
So look at where we are. So anything's possible.
Anyway, so we can explore that later. So, Bobby, sorry, that one hit me there as I took a drink of beer, honestly.
But see, now you're on an edge, right? Like if you it'd be great if it was free, but you got to have security over there so that people don't get rowdy if they drink too much beer. At the same time, you could charge a parking fee to do it, and that would help pay for the grandstand. So there's a lot that has to go into the decision to think about that. It's not a bad idea, but let's talk about Saturday itself. Let's talk about the racing and the racers. Who's going to be on the racetrack, and what do you have any idea? Number of laps, and number of classes, and all that stuff worked out yet?
Yep, we're looking at just like Houston, except for the Ecos and all those guys. Trucks, modifieds and outlaws, sportsmen, and pure stock, and that's what we're running. We're talking to other classes to plug in throughout the year or working, but we're open. Legacies want to come run. We're looking at that model. That's what these 4 races are. We're feeling our way. Which classes are going to be strong? Of course, we're focusing on the trucks and that truck tour, and growing, the next touring class and getting our feet underneath us, car count wise and, class wise.
Yeah, absolutely.
As far as laps, Bobby, we're thinking, anywhere from 35 to 40. That's about. Okay. In general, most racers tell me 35.
Yeah. That's about right. That kind of seems to be
the big half mile. That's about right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, initial thoughts from competitors that have actually been out on the track. You know, I remember when San Antonio fired back to life. Of course, it had been closed a lot longer. How's the surface? How's the reviews and so forth on just the track itself?
Well, Mr. Greg Davidson was the first one to break the dust on it. And
nice.
He loved it. He really did. He got a little dusty and dirty because the surface was a little dusty. But he was so excited, I don't think he cared. And I think his hair is white anyway.
Yeah.
So that wasn't dust. I couldn't tell how dusty. But I will say that it was dusty for the practice the night before. We're gonna be blowing it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean that's part of the thing. It's been in hibernation, but now it's now it's awake.
And we're kind of shuffling dirt around it too. That doesn't help, but we're gonna try to blow her off as much as we can.
Right on.
All right, so last thought, the racers that are on the fence, Gina, about coming in to race with you at Mobile, what's the last little bit of locker room talk you could get them if they wanted to get their cars ready to come race for you? What's that speech like?
Don't be scared.
Ooh.
Don't be scared.
Yeah.
I can tell you this. It's a fast track, but she's wide, got multiple grooves, and I think it's going to be great. I love the fact that there's a couple of 3/8 mile racers that are going to get to run on a half mile, and it's the direction we're going and trying to grow. That my objective is to get people to travel, to get racers to travel at both tracks.
Yep.
But I know that not all can afford it, or not all will. But if they can afford one race and go experience it, that's worth it to me. That's what racing is. You should get to go try something else, and race somewhere else.
Yeah.
And try a different track.
Yeah, absolutely. Lastly, and kind of the blaring question there that we forgot to ask. So with the stream, with the live stream, whether they're going to watch it there or however they're going to watch it, where's that going to be, so forth and so on, logistics of all of that?
That's going to be on the Gulf Coast Racing Series Facebook page. Okay. You find it by NASCAR Gulf Coast.
Nice.
Pull it up, and we're going to do just like we did at HMP.
Oh, nice. So, is it going to be pay-per-view, or is it going to be? I don't want to say the other.
No, we're going to do live, and we're working with Facebook to launch a beta program. And I think because we won't have any grandstands, we are going to charge a fee, very small, cheaper than a general admission ticket. But that will help us, be able to cover what we'll lose there and pay the racers.
Yeah, well, I think, and seriously, the thing to that, I mean, if folks want to say about pricing, the guys that are doing this work, I mean, it's a lot. It is not just a matter of, like we say, turning the lights on at the track. It's not a matter of pointing a camera and making it work. I don't know how those guys are able to do what they do, manipulating all of that stuff to make that broadcast happen.
Yes, and it is. It's a lot of people working together to do this. And it's, like I said, it's very humbling, and it's a tremendous amount of pressure, to get it right. This track is a beautiful track. I love the fact that we're adding it to where we're going to race with HMP, and it's two totally different tracks, two totally different types of racing, and we're just going to figure it out here this year with the Summer Series. And we can thank Advance Auto Parts for having this Summer Series.
Yeah. Absolutely. Great folks right there.
Yeah, for sure.
They continue to support. Gina, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be very eastbound and down Friday, and look forward to it. Can't wait to try to thrill them over there. Do I need to change my style? I'm kind of wondering. It's like I go to certain tracks.
It's going to be harder without the fans. But you're going to have the pit style,
Yeah. No, it'll be all right. We can. It'll be good. you should hear me. You should hear me when I go to the bathroom. I'm going crazy.
It'll be all right. You have to get yourself a pep talk to go to the bathroom.
yeah. I have to go in there and start screaming green flag.